तव कथामृतं तप्तजीवनम् कविभिरीडितं कल्मषापहम् श्रवणमङ्गलं श्रीमदाततं भुवि गृह्णन्ति ये भूरिदा जनाः भुवि गृह्णन्ति ये भूरिदा जनाः. The Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna. We were in December 16th, 1883, Sunday. Half a page we have finished. At 4 o'clock in the afternoon, Mr. Mukherjee, a relative of Pranakrishna, arrived in the company of a Brahmin well versed in scriptures. Mukherjee: I am very happy to meet you, sir. Master: God dwells in all beings. A Brahmin well versed in scripture has come. Scripture is a vast ocean in Hinduism. All aspects of existence, of individual soul, of the cosmic existence and the beyond are discussed in extreme detail and scientifically, not depending on faith, but depending on the principles governing human life in the nature. It transcends all limitations of brain and mind, enters the realm transcendental. So it is to know a scripture thoroughly, lot of spiritual practices must accompany. Otherwise we will be a pandit, a scholar without experience. It is like studying driving without practicing it. Exact understanding of driving doesn't come, though you know every principle of driving a vehicle. Similarly, swimming. We may discuss so many points: how to float in water, what are the buoyancy forces required, how to pull the body, how much of force is needed, how much force must be pressed across the water to lift ourselves, how much to pull the bodily existence. All forces acting we may discuss. But unless we enter into the water and practice it, everything remains a story. The moment we keep the feet in water, we will be drowned. Like that, scriptural knowledge must go with the practice. It's a theory, and it's a theory pertaining to the transcendental, which mind misunderstands. It is like teaching a blind man about light and colors. Any amount of telling about light, seeing, distance, all this remains a vague understanding of one's own imagination. God remains an imagination without experience. A maximum we can move is to the faith and trust, not beyond it. But Hinduism stands on realization of God, realization of every bit of the understanding of Jiva, Jagat and Ishvara. If I know who am I must know from the bodily existence to the scholastic existence deep within. The whole thing must be known. Similarly, if I want to know the nature, I must know from the external visible nature to penetrate into the every aspect of nature, every dimensions, every planes of existence, every all aspects of nature, how many planes are there, how jivas are there in whichever planes of existence, in what state, and the beyond. And when I know the beyond, I must know every bit of it. Like that, the scripture must go with the spiritual experiences from jivahood, from bodilyhood, deha bhava. We move to the jiva bhava, the transmitter soul knowledge, through experience, and the beyond to the eternal unchanging self in the bodily existence. Similarly of God, of all aspects in which human existence can perceive, experience must be known. So then the real absolute fulfillment of life comes. Paripurnata. I don't need anything more. I am eternally free from nature in all her aspects of nature. Nature no more can bind me, give me birth or death. I can choose the birth and death. I can choose the pain and pleasure. To that extent of freedom from nature. So Sri Ramakrishna wants to realize that a Pandit has come, an aspirant has come. He is addressing them. Oh, you have learned all these things. Practice now. You are say unto another, you are an aspirant aspiring for God. Go in this path. So he is opening up the secrets which an aspirant, spiritual aspirant, a person who is aspiring for liberation, for salvation, is being given here. God dwells in all beings. Life is expression of consciousness through matter, spirit through body. The spirit expressing through the bodily existence is life. God is there within, in and through the body. He is expressing and he gets called by name in Jivatman, a self, individual self. God dwells in all beings. He is the gold in all. It's like an ornament. In some places, it is more clearly manifest than in others because of the karmic load and the tendencies we generate. Karmic load pulls down the jiva to the earthly existence. It is like a huge gravity applied. When we go to the moon, look at the gravity. Coming to the earth, look at the gravity. What a difference. Mass considers the huge mass of earth is pulling the jiva. The huge mass of the sun, moon is small one. The huge mass of the sun is holding all the planets, making it move round. Earth, you see, when you go to moon, you'll be as if floating in the air, so much light you are, because mass of the moon is less. Our karmic load will be very heavy. The more it pulls down to the bodily existence. And vasanas are other things. Gold. In some it is more clearly manifested, in others. These vasanas, though the gravitation pull, like the karmic pull is there on the bodily jiva's existence, the individual's existence, the person's existence is pulled down. But what creates darkness, that inner light cannot flow out, is the tendencies, vasanas. What vasanas? Intense vasanas. When I see some children and all, their vasanas, worldly vasanas, spiritual vasanas, the good vasanas, bad vasanas, all these vasanas which may insist on body, that I am body, that makes greater darkness. Oh, body is there, let it take care of itself. I have a higher purpose. I have to serve, I have to love. When these things come, the transparency is more divinity is flowing out. When I am body, I want, when the animal wood is strong, it is almost next to opaque. It is transparent, but a translucent, we can say, than transparency. This transparency is abstracted. More your body, more you are holding on to the world. When you are releasing and expanding to love all, to love God. Still, loving God is more clearest almost. The inner light is flowing out as it is. This creates the difference. Vasanas create the difference. Karmic load, the sukha dukkha that we have to experience according to the karma I have done, gives a gravity of binding ourselves. We are bound to the world maybe because of karmic load. If vasanas are less, then our transparency is more. Every karma phala has to, the fruit of our past action has to open up, has to emerge out only through vasanas. If vasanas become zero, whole mountain of karmic load disappears because of lack of vasanas, worldly vasanas. The vasana kshaya, tattva jnana, manonasha happen at a time. The vasanas die means any amount of karma doesn't matter. It doesn't have any effect to bind you. So Sri Ramakrishna is really more clear in manifest than in others. God dwells in worldly minded, no doubt, but He is hidden there. See how clearly Sri Ramakrishna is mentioning. God dwells in the worldly minded also, no doubt, but He is hidden there. He is there, hidden behind the vasanas, like gold under deep layers of clay. Mukherjee, sir, what is the difference between worldly and other worldly things? Worldly things and other worldly things. Master, while striving for the realization of God, the aspirant had to practice renunciation, applying the logic of neti neti, not this, not this. But after attaining the vision of God, he realizes God alone has become all these things. Clear terms. Sri Ramakrishna is mentioning. Nothing ambiguous, nothing unclear. It's very open and clear. An aspirant striving for realization of God has to practice renunciation. Renunciation is my desire for physical enjoyments alone will be given up. No duty is given up, no responsibility is given up, no earnings, working about in the world, bringing up children, nothing is given up. All remain, only inner desires for possession and illegitimate possessions and illegitimate enjoyments. Those are to be totally renounced. Duties, and then why renunciation? You see, any enjoyment, bodily enjoyment is not a sin. Is not going to, desires will not become sin till we yield to the desires. Once we yield to the desires, it is sin, the sin is occupying. And why the enjoyments worldly enjoyments are made to give up. It is just because it is not wrong, but it is making you intensely body. You can never know yourself. Atma Jnana you can never attain when you are your body, insisting that you are body. Even fasting, this, that and all. Whatever mortifications, bodily mortification is to awaken the spirit, to prove, to make my mind, my lower self to understand I am not this body, I am self. Once you realize this self, you are totally independent from body. To get the Atma Jnana, to realize God, I am fasting, I am giving up the enjoyments. Otherwise, you can never evolve. Spiritual evolution is not possible as long as you are holding on to the body, myself as the body. So, Sri Ramakrishna is telling, he is asking worldly and otherworldly. So, we has to practice renunciation, applying the logic of neti, neti. This is not God, this is not God. We begin self-analysis begins with I am not this body. Mano buddhi ahankara chittani naham. I am not the manas. I am not the buddhi. I am not the ahankara. I am not the chitta. I am not, I am not, I am not. All these layers, but I am the self deep within. Shivoham, Shivoham. Like that, in the world, not this, not this. This is not God, this is not God, this is not God. What attracts me, what entices me, what binds me can never be God. So, God is freedom. So, I deny this world to know the beyond. Just like you have to leave lower steps and climb up to reach the higher levels of existence. To climb through the roof, you have to, one by one step, you are renouncing and coming. We are climbing. You are climbing every step and renouncing it. Climbing and renouncing it. You have to leave the lower. It is just like an insect walks. It holds something and leaves something. Holds something, leaves it. How it slowly starts moving towards the perfection. World will remain as it is. We are trying to go beyond all limitations to freedom. What are we seeking? I want peace, I want bliss, and I want freedom. These things you cannot have being a body. Body can never have freedom. Body can never have bliss, ananda. Body cannot have the peace. It is when you transcend them, you will get that. Afterwards, whether you dwell in world or in body, as body also, it doesn't affect you. Of knowing yourself, master. But after attaining the vision of God, he realizes God alone has become all things. What I renounced as this is not God, this is not God. When you come down, you see, oh, this is God, or this is God. Once you enter into any samadhi, enter into transcendental realm of the superconscious state, any higher conscious level, layers of consciousness, lower levels of consciousness, higher levels of consciousness. So higher level, as you climb, you will see that more freedom, more peace, more joy. At one time, Rama was overpowered by spirit of renunciation. Sri Ramakrishna is telling, at one time, Rama was overpowered by the spirit of renunciation. Dasharatha was very worried at this, went to the sage Vasishtha and begged him to persuade Rama not to give up the world. The sage came to Rama and found him in gloomy mood. The fire of intense renunciation has been raging in the prince's mind. The viraja, vairagya is possessing. Oh, I don't need all this. I have seen anybody, every individual, every human, by the very his own intrinsic nature, because he is divine deep within. After passing through a few experiences, though he is not able to give up because of the habit or attachments, but still every human understands there is nothing in this world. A person may not be able to give it up because of the habit, but repeatedly he may be erring, still he knows nothing is there. All appearing to be a joy, but momentary pleasures, followed by long gaps of suffering and bondage. Why does this understanding come to him? Is because he is divine deep within. Bodily existence is just something that is making him feel. The sage came to Rama and found him in gloomy mood. The fire of intense renunciation has been raging in the prince's mind. Vashishta said, Rama, why should you denounce the world? Is the world outside God? Reason with me. Rama realized that the world had evolved from the supreme Brahman, so he had nothing. He said nothing. What is the source, course, and culmination of anything you see in this world? Where from it came? Where is it lying? Where is it moving? And where is it going to end? The whole universe appears from the absolute existence, the Brahman. It is living in Brahman, sustaining itself in Brahman, and it dissolves in Brahman. All things we see, hear, understand, originates from God, is living in God, and is going to dissolve in God. The source and culmination of all that exists is God. Now this God we can't see, and what we see as world is a part of the world excluding my bodily existence. One small identity with the body, I am this body, makes the whole play. I am this body is making this world, God look as world. Sukha, dukkha, the temptations, running about, everything is happening just because you identified one part of this creation, the body. If you separate from body, the world disappears. God alone is there. This world is there because seer is there. The subject is there, so object is there. Observer is there, so observed is there. If observer is not there, observed cannot be there. That's why when we sleep, the observer dissolves and the world is invisible. World is not there. The moment you sleep, the world is not there. If all beings disappear from this world, no living being is there, world never exists. It doesn't exist. Even if one single person is there, one single person, one being, one ant is there, whole world, universe is there. If no living beings are there in this universe, universe doesn't exist. Universe exists only for the sake of jiva, and it exists because there is an observer observing it. Otherwise, that's why we don't see this world at all. Absolutely no. When we wake up, we don't see the dream world. Like that, when we sleep, we don't see the physical world at all, including my body which belongs to it. The whole disappears because observer is dissolving. Observer cannot be there in the absence of observer. World is there because you are seeing it. You don't see, world is not there. So these aspects we see. So Sri Rama sees the whole universe emerging from the absolute. It is taking millions of years to go to the optimum, again dissolve. The whole play he sees, just like we sleep every day, living all things. The world disappears, body disappears, all layers pass, and we become the pure spirit. Merge and emerge again to spread again. So from the Atman, our bodily existence, as if I am pervading, in Atman I am going back every day. When universe goes back, it goes with matter. When I go, I leave the matter and go inside, because matter is not part of my existence. It is universe existence. So we see that Rama has nothing to say. He keeps quiet. That is to show that everything is God. What more shall I renounce? Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat Shri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.